where, I don't know why this is so hard to say. See this hand? And it is holding the soap. That it's a haunted hand. Tattoo, whatever this is called. I am not saying real words today. I'm not comprehending the craftsmanship. Look at that. Are you joking? A bad idea. This is going to be bad, guys. So I connect the fingers to the wrist. Oh, I mean, this makes sense, but I super glued my tape. All right, look at that. There's your hand. I mean, why not try something for the first time when you're actually trying to accomplish something? But, well, I'm sure that real quick. Oh. This doesn't feel sticky at all. It feels stupid. It's going to do like some glue, you know. Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time being here. I am so excited about this week. It's kind of not really a random thought, but just something I want to get done, so I pushed it around and we're gonna do it this week. I don't have them on today, but I usually wear layers and layers of necklaces. So right now I have them stored on an earring container. It's like an earring mat that you hang on the wall. And I wrap them around the, like, what I was trying to say is I wrap them around where, I don't know why this is so hard to say. I just wrap them around where it's hung from. It's not that serious. Anyway, my point is, this video is going to fix that issue, because right now it's like a tedious little task instead of having to just take them off and put them up. So let me show you the idea. This is not my idea I came up with. This is Pinterest. Pinterest, just, if you are on Pinterest, you know. I'm going to show you my first example. This is what we're going for. Okay, see this hand? And it is holding the soap, right? Here's another example. There's such a glare. Okay, there we go. Here's another example. Okay, I know they sell these. I have one more example. Let's see what, oh, here's like a how-to type example. Okay, so my point is you can purchase these. I'm sure these are on Amazon. I'm sure these are on Etsy. You can purchase them. But what we're going to do is we're going to make our own. I'm hoping to make it look not like the first one, but in the idea that it's a haunted hand. Like a demon-y, scary hand. That's the concept I'm going for. I don't want like a human hand, and I don't want a cutesy hand. I have a few different ideas that we'll try together. I have, you know, like fake nails that I'm thinking about painting and, you know, gluing to the ends. So we're going to play around. I also am going to show you what I just tried to explain. I need to insert that because I could not explain it correctly, but you can see how just annoying the setup is. But before we get started, I just wanted to show you, because these are pertaining to like spooky themed items. I had purchased a few things. So I got, for my tattoo inks, you put your little caps in there, you know, for when they're full of ink. And this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's just worn looking. It's so perfect. It's tiny. He's not, you know, going to take up a lot of room. So I had him sitting back here next to, I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, so next to my other little skeletons on top of my tattoo, whatever this is called. I am not saying real words today. I'm not comprehending anything I'm saying. Next is okay, let me start with this guy. I found this guy at a local market. This woman makes them by hand from clay, fires them, glazes them, sells them at this market. This tiny guy I'm pretty sure she was selling them like 3 for $1. The design and like the craftsmanship, look at that. Are you joking? This guy was pretty much a quarter, okay? That's not even real life. So I bought him. He's so cute. He's been sitting in my office. Then I went, this little guy started like an idea. A bad idea. This is going to be bad, guys. So I then went and randomly walked into like a local Dollar General, and they had this guy. So I was like, oh, well, I have this tiny guy, so I should buy a friend. Okay, so cute. I'm like, oh, look, like even a concept, mom and a baby. I'm like, this is adorable. But now I keep finding them, and we're heading towards October. And this is not good news because there are going to be so many ghosts. I just thrifted this shirt. I don't know what has happened. I'm more of a zombie, witch, you know, gory type of scary person, but these ghosts, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're just making them adorable. Then we were at Aldi yesterday, and my husband found this guy, which matches, in a sense, this guy. They have the same wash and the same theme. So this is, like I said, really bad news, but then I justified this purchase, right? Because I also have the 2 cups right here. So now I'm like, oh, well, that just goes in my coffee mug collection of like odd little coffee mugs, you know? Anyway, I am going to try to thrift as many ghosts as I can find, you know, to like upcycle them and not purchase them from a, you know, franchise or store as much as possible. But my collection it's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that's bad news, but they're so cute. So before I keep talking about that, I am going to show you now where I hang my jewelry, why it's so annoying, and then we'll get started on the bones of the hand. I have an idea of how we're gonna do this, like with the wiring. I'm thinking paper mache style. In my head, it's gonna go great. So when we get started, I don't know. Here we go, proof of how annoying this is. So this is where it hangs right here. And then I come in and take all of these necklaces off every time. Majority of them I wear at once. And I put them all one at a time back up around here. Half the time I can't clasp them, and so they just fall off. It's a hot mess. So I'm thinking that I will, like right here, I have earrings and makeup brushes and like perfumes and stuff. So right here is where I'm thinking that I'll put my hand that I create, because up here in this container, is it gonna focus? No, there it goes. Up here in this container, this clear one, is like watches I wear every day, earrings I wear every day, and then that box has rings in it. So it makes sense to fill in this little space with the hand. So let's figure this out and build it. So it is actually a full day later. I somehow went from showing you the place I was going to put this up at to doing nothing, absolutely nothing with this project. So I have 2 types of wire. I want to use this because it is way more flexible, but I'm afraid that it's also not going to be strong enough to do anything with, like to hold, you know, the actual piece together. But maybe I also had this, which I've used in the past. I don't know, maybe we should just do this. And we can wrap it with this for like the bulkiness. Then I'm going to tape it. Then I'm going to paper mache it. So, depending on how I am working on this process, I may just do the entire construction of it in this video and then do a part 2 where I paint it and do the nails and like all the detailing, because I really am going to look at this for quite some time, so I don't want to rush this project or make like a 5-hour video. So let's just start with step 1 and build the hand. I want super long fingers, like extremely long, scary looking fingers. So we're gonna do maybe we should do each finger and then connect it to the base. Is that a plan? I don't know. Okay. Basically, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you guys a few fingers. And then let's actually get the base. The plan is in my brain. Other than that, there's no plan. So this is pretty much trial and error. And the gift of learning patience. So, here's going to be the base of the hand, right? All right. So here's the structure to like the actual hand. Here is a finger. Okay. So do we get like the idea of it? I'm going to go ahead and work with, this looks like nothing, but you know, it'll all come together. I'm going to work with the material here, create the hand, but here's like the general concept of it. We're going to do the little arm part also, which would just come off the back of here. And then I'll come back when the structure is done, show you what I came up with. I'm going to most likely wrap it in this as well. And then we'll fully wrap it in the tape. So I will see you very soon. Here's the finger layout. So we have pinky, ring, middle, pointer, thumb. That's how I envision it. I had this tube that I'd saved in like my collage box, so I actually cut that down for what'll be the wrist area. I'm going to put the hand part right there and wrap it. This was a good combination, the actual wiring and the green. So that actually worked out very well. I don't know if I wanted one without the other. One is very pliable. The other one is just like not so great. All right, now we're going to connect the fingers to the wrist and then tape. So I'm gonna just wrap everything in, what is this, just masking tape, and I'll come back and show you the results of that. All right, guys, this was a wild process, and Good thing we're not going for like a proportionate human type hand. But somehow, I mean, this makes sense, but I super glued my tape. So every time I go to peel it around, you know, that's been a whole process. It just tears off where it's all glued together. But I'm pretty much at the end here. Could I have probably wrapped these all individually and had a better process? I'm sure. But this is a learning experience. And I mean, look at the difference from where we started to now where it's at. This almost looks like the top of the hand, doesn't it? And then this is the palm because it kind of cups in. So let me, oh my goodness, that sounded awful. We can just bend, you know, like this would be the thumb. This is the pinky, but that way. See, where does it rip? It rips every time right by the stupid super glue that's right there. All right, we're gonna finish this middle finger. It just like naturally formed itself into where it's at. How cool is that? That's what I love about working with just actual garbage, because once you get the vision, but you actually start working with the piece, it just kind of forms. I mean, I do have control over this, but for the most part, it's just kind of doing its own thing, which I think is the best way to create. I don't like coming up with a plan necessarily. Obviously, I have an idea in my head, but I don't go, okay, step one is this, step two is this, or it doesn't turn out right. I just kind of like go with whatever is happening, which usually turns into pure chaos, but that is the part I like also, because you're just kind of winging it. Almost done. I did end up bringing you guys in for this torture, sorry. But I just thought it was crazy how different it was starting to look like in the middle of this process. Okay. Now we could secure this. We need to secure that part. And this is where it'll come like you wing it, because, so I thought I was done, but I'm not, because this finger is a little too loose. So you will just go in. Well, all my tape is stuck together, so whatever, that's fine. There we go. And we'll secure it a little more over here. I mean, check that out. That is looking like a solid hand right there. Okay. I can live with that. Check that out. That's a scary looking hand. Why I made the middle finger, your middle finger is longer. Yeah, so that makes sense. All right, look at that. There's your hand. I'm going to add a little more tape. And then next step, I'm going to come back and I'm going to mix up my glue water, and we'll start laying the paper mache aspect of it. And I'll talk to you more about that then. I went back off camera and made this way stronger. So I just supported everything. I closed off the end. because the more I was looking at it and was thinking, oh, I'll just collage it, there wasn't a very strong base to paper mache on. So I just went in and made it sturdier. But now we can start the collage. So, and by the way, that's not bad. Like, that looks creepy. I can't really see how it's showing up on camera, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. I made this out of trash, so pretty solid base. I'm going to mix glue and water. I've never done this method before. I know this is how you normally do like a paper mache. I usually do the method like I pour glue all over and paint it, which I'm still gonna do that, but I actually want to try this method. I mean, why not try something for the first time when you're actually trying to accomplish something? But I'm sure this will work just fine. And you put it in water. You get what kind of paintbrush? This one? I don't know, that looks pretty new. Let's get an old junky one. Oh, I like this one too. It's so hard because, well, these are pretty similar, but this one's older. So we'll use this one. Does anybody get new paintbrushes? I cannot remember the last time I bought new paintbrushes. I've had some of these since high school, and I cannot part with them. I just like can't find a brush that leaves a streak like it does. An old gross brush. Maybe that's just me, but all right, so we're going to mix this glue in. I can only guess this is the actual method. I'm just kind of winging it. All right, so now we have our glue, our gluey water. Let me grab a paper towel real quick. Oh. Okay, got a paper towel. And we're gonna, I don't know, we're just gonna grab some strips of paper. I got all of these out of my box I made on my room redo. I just had a bunch of scraps that were full, that didn't necessarily need to go in the trash, and saved them. So this doesn't feel sticky at all. It feels stupid. I probably have too much water in there, but I'm guessing when it dries, I don't know. I tried one piece. Okay, let's try to trust the process here. All right, we're gonna wrap this. Now, thinking about this, I thought originally I would do like clay. And then I thought, no, I hate working with clay. I love working with clay, but I don't like the time clay takes to cure, and then you sand it, and it's just, the patience level for that is not what I had for this project. But seeing this with collage, I assume I will leave the base obviously pretty exposed with the collage, and then I can paint and kind of do like a mixed media for it. I haven't fully decided. I finally bought a jug, not a jug, but let me show you this actually. I had bought this time around. It's just, acrylic paint, and it's in a big jug. I paint everything black. My highlights are black. Everything's black. I have had tiny tubes of black this big forever. So I thought to myself, why do I not own this? So I bought me a big black. I also cover everything in blood splatters. So I bought me a giant red, real red, because I didn't want it to be too pink. And then I bought, now this is not the original color I picked out, but I originally had like a blue, green, and silver glaze. I have no idea what this is. I have never used it. It popped up when I was looking for paint. It looks white, but then see, you can kind of see it. Is it showing up on camera? There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see, I guess it dries iridescent. I am so curious about this. I may or may not use this in the painting process on top of the black or darkness that I add to the collage. So that's just a insight to what I may or may not do on here, because once I see it dry, I don't really know how I'll feel. But I do want to do fake nails, I'm pretty sure, also. And, you know, all the details. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm hating the watery glue. This, I think there's too much water in it, but that's not for me. It doesn't feel like anything is happening. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, ooh, there's a little gnat. We're just going to do like some glue, you know, all over, and we'll add stuff to it. I also don't like the wet on the paper. It feels horrendous. I don't like the texture at all. I don't know if I didn't do that right. Can somebody write or, you know, comment, hello, that was so wrong. You do paper mache like this, because I did not look it up ahead of time. And ooh, this is much better down here, maybe not blue. Okay, this feels like I'm collaging. This texture, that's working for me. See, it looks so far pretty cool collage, so will I keep it fully paper like that? No, I will, I assume, add some paint, of course, for detailing, but I'm just going to continue to collage this. And when it is fully collaged, I'll come back and show you what's going on. Okay, this is drying, and I think I'm gonna leave off on that note. So I'm gonna let it fully dry, and then on next week's video we're gonna paint this, and we're gonna add the nails, the detailing, also I was thinking they have like little plaques to, I don't really know how I would do this. This is where I'm kind of stuck. So I'm also going to brainstorm this, but I need some way to attach this to the wall. So, and it would also be like this. So here's your hand. You're going to have to attach it to something to put it to the wall. So if anybody has any suggestions for that, I would love to hear them. I'm going to brainstorm it though. And that's where we'll continue next week. So I appreciate you watching. And if you have any ideas, comments, suggestions, please leave them below. And we will finish this guy next week. I'll see you guys then.